Solomon's breakthrough begins when he begins to recognize the hand of God. This also I saw is from the hand of God, for apart from him, who can eat or who can have enjoyment? And so the hand of God is a recognition of God's sovereignty as the creator. The hand of God is an image laden with significance. And we could probably teach a whole series of lessons on this, but to sum it up, God's hand, and recognizing God's hand in this, Solomon is recognizing God's choice. He's submitting to the Creator who has decided what is right for me, what my lot in life should be. And we make our lives so difficult when we refuse to accept God's sovereignty as the Creator. The Scripture says, we are his people, the sheep of his pasture. He made us, not we ourselves. And the reason the author of Psalms said that is because we tend to think, we aren't sheep. We're in control, and we did create ourselves, or we can create ourselves. When we think we can create ourselves, that we have either the right or the ability to create our own reality, to master our own destiny, to choose our own way, to decide our own morality. I will decide between good and evil, what's good and evil for me. When we think we have the right or the ability to assign our own gender, that's just kind of like how absurd this becomes. We set ourselves up for so much frustration. God created the universe. He designed every creature for a purpose. He knows how they work. He drew the pictures. He wrote the code. He knows what protocol is best to create and maintain human thriving. When he gives us laws and rules, it's not to be a killjoy. It's like, no, this is really how you will do best in life. This is what's good for you. Choose life and live. But so often we don't. We butt all the BS in our culture about being the master of our fate, commander of our own destiny. That's a lie. Morality is an expression of God's character. But see, once you get that, once you understand God has chosen for me, he has a right to choose for me. He knows what's best for me here and now. You can say with David, the boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance from the Lord. So the hand of God also implies recognition of God's action, that he's actually active, personally active, doing things. He didn't just create, wind up the clock, walk away, and see ya, hope it works out for you, make the best of it. No. Solomon sees God's hand in this. His hand does things. He's not a distant, indifferent, uninvolved, supreme being. If you see God's hand, it's because he's doing something.